Hi guys, and welcome to my channel Kel Stitches. This is a place where I talk about cross stitching and everything that goes along with it. So today is Monday the 24th of February 2025 and this is a Flosstube number 65. So I'd just like to say welcome if you're a new viewer or a subscriber. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you today, and welcome back to any existing subscribers and viewers. Very much appreciated that you come back and check out all my progress that I have every fortnight. Alright, let's just get straight into what I stitched on in the last couple of weeks. So the first one that I worked on, if I can find it, was this one. It's called Autumn Blessings and it is by Shannon Christine Designs, and that's what it'll look like when it is completed. Maybe I should remove this. Oops, I hope I don't knock anything over. Oops. Okay. Now I'm all squashed up because I've moved that there beside me. Alright, so I'll put up a photo of where it was, and this is where we currently are up to. As you can see, I have filled in, so basically what I've done is I've filled in this square with pumpkins, and I have moved over and I am working on this one. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,500 stitches into it. So I am just going to work square by square. Once I'm finished this one, I'll move down and do that and just keep going down. There is only 9 squares in it. So I did make a bit of a boo-boo on this one, but you can't really notice it. So in this pumpkin here, see that light grey there? It was meant to be where all the dark grey is, and vice versa. That dark grey was meant to be where the light grey was. But I went and stitched all the light grey in and then realised that I'd put the wrong, or picked up the wrong number. So I just went, to hell with it, and swapped the colours around. But it doesn't look too bad. I don't think it looks that much different to actually what's on here. So yeah, I'm not really, I don't really care. It still looks alright. But yeah, so I'm just got to finish off here. I don't actually have that much to finish off in this square. I think there's just a couple of leaves here. Well, I've got to finish off the sunflower, finish all the colour in it, and then a couple of leaves. And there's a little bit of back stitch in these buttons that I've got to do. And then I will move down to the next, to the next one. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's very easy to stitch on. I do really enjoy working on it. So, and I'm moving along pretty quickly with that. So hopefully it will be a finish for this year. Rightio, the next one that I worked on was this one. It is Legal High by Long Dog Samplers. This is what it'll look like when it's completed. Don't mind my scribbles all over the cover photo, just to remind me of the colours, where the colour placement where I'm going to be using it. So I will put up a picture of where it was. And this So I am absolutely obsessed with this colour. So I am stitching on this on an 18 count coffee dyed fabric that I dyed myself, and I am using Silks for You. I was originally just going to do it all in this one colour, and then I decided that I probably needed to break it up a little bit, although I am absolutely obsessed with how that dark brown is looking on the fabric. It's just looking amazing to my eyes. Anyway, so I am using PR151, PR192 and PR149 as my 3 colorways. Now 151 is going to be the majority of the color, obviously, which is all of this and the outline. This dark one is going to be for all of the stitching in the middle, and then the lighter one is going to be for areas in here, like here. So just little highlights of that lighter color throughout the stitching. But as I said, I am absolutely obsessed with the way this is looking. Look, it looks absolutely amazing. So I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,700 stitches into it. And I am super happy with the fact that I am down here and managed to, so that is this section here that I am working on. Yep, that section there that I'm working in. So yeah, I am absolutely loving that. Looks amazing. But I do love all the long dog samplers, so I have a big long list of ones that I want to get around to stitching eventually. That's that one. And the next one that I worked on, I don't think I've got a printout. Oh, that's what I should have done. Just printed the cover photo out of it. Was the Autumn Lane Stitchery Woodland Winter Sale that they brought out at the end of January. It came out in 5 parts. The last part was released on the 6th of February. And so I have completed it. So here we are. This is the completed piece. There we go. Oh, look how cute it is. It's not very big, so it'd fit in probably maybe a normal size frame, possibly. This is a 18 count, I think. It's either 16 or 18 count that I dyed myself in an indigo colour. And yeah, that's what it was. Super cute. It is no longer available, but they did say if and only if they release this pattern to the public for sale on their website, it won't be released until the end of the year. Now, there was a lot of people that once they seen it completed wanted to jump on the bandwagon and purchase the pattern, but unfortunately they couldn't because it was only up for a limited time. There is currently no idea of whether they are going to do the other 4 seasons. I would absolutely love it if they did, because that was such a quick and fun stitch. So hopefully they will think about releasing the other 4 seasons in time. And they've been showing little previews of some of their Nashville releases, and they are absolutely so cute. Even though I don't stitch a lot of Halloween-y type of things, some of them are so cute that I may eventually jump on and stitch them. So I worked on that one for 3 days and I got 1,730 stitches done in it to complete it off. Now, the next one that I worked on was this one. Now, these came out of a magazine. Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World sent them to me. They came out of an old magazine. They are a Doreen Jones charts. So I am currently working on this one, the Wisdom one. Now I was, where are we? This one here. Now I am stitching these on the one piece of fabric. I won't say side by side because it's one under the other. This is where I've got up to with it. It looks crooked because of the way it's in the Q-snap, but anyway. So this is where I've got up to. That's the full size of it. So I'm not going to have to move it out of the Q-snap. I probably will straighten it up a little bit because that is annoying the crap out of me. But yeah, so these are being stitched on a 16 count white Aida. And I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,500 stitches into it. Now, this piece of fabric is way bigger than what the 2 bits if I only leave a small border in between them. So what I was thinking was I will stitch a couple of little motifs in 2 or 3, depending on the size of them, in between them. Now, and these are all, it's all full cross. So, but yeah. So what I was thinking was I pulled out this leaflet that I purchased a while ago, and as you can see, they're all Native American little motifs. They're not very big, and I was looking at them, wondering which one to do because I didn't want any of these longer sort of ones here, even though they would look really good. Now, I did consider maybe just stitching this a couple of times or a couple of these in between, but then I just decided that I will probably just stitch 2 or 3 of these. They're only about 30 by 30 stitch. So a couple of those underneath, underneath here, in between the 2 of them. I think that will look all right. That'll match in with them a little bit. So that's what I will do once I finish that. I'll just stitch a couple of those motifs. Right here. Alright. Now, the next one I worked on was this one, my stamped kit. So that's what it'll look like when it's completed. It is just a cheap China kit that I bought from AliExpress many years ago, I think. Well, it have to be many years ago. I've been working on this for 2 years now, so. And this is where I'm up to. So as you can see, I've moved it out of the round hoop and put it into one of these little Nerge frames. So I've just filled in all in here and just got that all done. next time I'm working on it, I'll probably just fill in all this, and down here, this bit of yellow over here, and then I'll fill in that and move across. The rest of it, other than up here, that's a bit more blocky, but then the rest of it's sort of very much, because it's all the feathers and stuff. So this is my nemesis piece. I love the piece, but I really don't like working on it because of the floss, which is that rayon-y, slippery floss that is a pain in the ass to work with, just to be honest. So I only worked on this for one day and I got 300 stitches into it. Yeah, I thought I better get a few stitches into it, considering that the last rotation I didn't stitch on it at all, and then Karma thought it was hilarious to let me pull it out again for this rotation. So I thought I'd better stitch on it, and then that way I at least get I'll get a few stitches into it. So that is being stitched on 11 count Aida, and as I said, it is using that rayon-y floss. I only have I think it's one other stamped kit with that rayon floss. The rest of them all have CXC, just cotton floss in them, so hopefully they will be better to work with. Right, the next one that I worked on was this one. This is the Modern Folk Embroidery sale from last year, from 2024, and it is called No Time Like the Present. This is what it'll look like when it's completed. I am not stitching it in this colorway. Now, here we are. This is where I'm up to with it. As you can see from the before picture, or last time we seen it picture, I have filled in the rest of the gold up here, and now I am working in the blue to finish that off. This is being stitched on a 20 count Rustico fabric, and it is using the colorway of, well, I am using the colorway of 832 and 322. So a blue and a goldy sort of colour, and I am using diamond, DMC diamond, gold diamond for the sparkly bits in there. Now I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,700 stitches into it. But it's not real big. I am nearly, almost, by the time I finish this section off here, I think I will be 50% completed. So hopefully I can be pretty close to having this nearly finished by the end of the year, so then I don't have to take it too far into next year. But yeah, that's what it is looking like. And I still haven't put it in its own project bag. It's still in snaplock bag. I do have a couple of project bags on the table in front of me that I might have to use for it. Alright, so the next one that I stitched on is actually a new start. Now, you may recall me saying once I finished the Autumn Lane Stitchery sale that I would start on a piece that I purchased for my daughter, and that is this one. It is a Beetlejuice piece by the Witchy Stitcher, and yeah, so that's what it'll look like when it's completed. Now this is just going to basically take the place of Autumn Lane Stitchery. Like, I will just, if I'm waiting in the car for anyone at appointments or anything like that, this is going to be one that I will take with me to work on, and I'll just put in a few hundred stitches here and there. Yeah, that's the right way. So this is where I've got up to with it. I have done all the border and I've started in on these skulls. Now this is being stitched on an 18 count Aida, and I am using all the DMC called for DMC colours, except for I decided that I was going to do the skulls and the writing, like the back stitch, this in here, this quote in here, that I was going to do them in glow in the dark floss. So that's what I've done. I have just back around that way. It's better. So this is the glow in the dark floss. It is the DMC one. I did buy 2 skeins of it, but I don't think I'm going to need the 2 skeins. So that is the DMC, glow in the dark. And the number of it is E940. So after seeing Stuart, who is Stuart's in Stitches, and Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, both using the glow in the dark floss, I decided that I had to do a piece with the floss in it somewhere. And when I seen this one and it came up, I decided that, yeah, what better place than to do the skulls and the writing in glow in the dark. So yeah, and I worked on this for 1 day, and I've got 600 stitches into it, so that's 600 stitches there. You wouldn't think it, being the size of it. It's not a very big piece. It's, as you can see, I have not centered it on the fabric very well. It's not a huge piece. I am going to probably make this into a little pillow for her once it's done. But yeah, it is very cute. And yes, they do glow. When I finished stitching on it that night, I went into a dark room and yeah, they were glowing. So I was kind of excited about that. And look how cute those little skulls are. But yeah, so that is my new start. And hopefully I will, yes I did. Yeah, hopefully that will be finished shortly. Well, shortly, but you know, within the next couple of months. Alrighty-o. Now, the next one that I worked on was this one. It's called Horse Portrait. It is by a company on eBay called Just Stitching. It doesn't have an artist, so I don't know if they are copyrighted or the artwork is legally purchased or anything like that. But this is a pattern that my mother-in-law bought me many years ago, so I just decided that I'd work on it anyway. That's what it'll look like when it's finished. And this is where I'm currently up to. Once again, as you can see, I have taken it out of the round hoop and put it into an urge frame, which is a lot easier to work with, to hold and to put onto my Gus floor stand. Yes, that is a stitch in there that hasn't been stitched in yet. So this is where I'm up to. What I am doing with this piece is I am only stitching the horse in the full cross, and then all the background I am doing in half cross or tent stitch, whatever you want to call it, just to make it go a little bit quicker in that, because I'd just like to get this done and out of the road. But it's not a very big piece. Once I do this page, I think I will be at about, I think it'll be 50% completed. So yeah, hopefully I can really move along with it this year and try to get it out the road. It kind of reminds me of one of our horses. She's a bay with a white star on her head as well, so kind of reminds me of her. And I worked on this for 2 days and I got 900 stitches into it, and it's just being stitched on. I'm pretty so sure it's just a 16 count. It doesn't look small enough to be 18, so I'm pretty sure it's just 16 count Ada. But yeah, there's that one. And it's just in a horsey bag that I made myself. Throw that back in there. And the last one that I worked on was this one. This is not the cover photo for it. This is the mystery stitch along being run by Cross Stitch for Everyone for 2025, and it's called To Catch a Dream. This is just a cover photo that they done up for it. It's not actually what the piece will look like. And it is really hard to see what I've stitched on it because I am doing it on black fabric, and a lot of the colours are dark blues, like 939 and 823. So it can be extremely hard to see where the progress that I have actually made on it, and that's because I wasn't doing like 40 or 50,000 stitches in black. So I can kind of, if I get the light right, you can the light keeps, there we go. You can just see the progress that I have made. So basically it's just stitching more dark blue. I did finish off this sort of section in here. Now that was like, we get them in pages, so I only had a couple of hundred stitches to do on this first page to finish it off. My God, it took me like 4 hours to get those 200 stitches stitched into it, because, and this fabric's way too big for the piece, so once it's done I will just chop off the excess. Now, because the colours that were left there was like 20 colours left or whatever it was on that first page. Out of that 20 colours, 12 of them had a single stitch, one stitch. So I had to do the stitch, finish thread, find the next colour, do the stitch. It took me forever to do it, and then the rest of the colours weren't much better. They were, I think, the most stitches in the rest of it. The rest of the colours were like 15 stitches. And this next page isn't much better. The second page has like quite a few. I think I counted there was like 20 or 25 colours with one single stitch. And then there's another half a dozen or so colours that only have 2 or 3 stitches. It's kind of ridiculous and making me not want to stitch on it, just to be honest. It is crazy. Like, surely those colours don't have to be in there. Like, surely you could have found a colour that was already there and just similar. But anyway, that's where I'm up to with it. I worked on it for 2 days and I got 700 stitches into it. I think it'll look amazing once it's completed and done, but Those confetti stitches are absolute ridiculous and hell to stitch. And I was going to try to do all the single stitch colours first on that second page, but like the page is yay big and there's one colour here and then the next one's way up here and I'd have to count, and the black fabric's not gridded and I don't trust myself counting on black fabric, so I just said bugger it, I am going to do all of the 939 colour first and then I can work from there. But yeah, it is very ridiculous and crazy in how much confetti stitches there are in each page. Don't know if I will be signing up to any other sales next year, unless they're small ones like the Autumn Lane one, small and cute ones. I don't think I'll be signing up for any of the full coverage ones unless they really catch my fancy. Just trying to put this back over here so I've got a bit more room. That's better. Alright, so that is everything that I worked on for the 2 weeks, and I got all up 10,630 stitches into it, which is pretty good. I think that's pretty decent stitching. Alrighty-o, so what we will do next, got a bit of a mess here. I am. This is my bag of all of the tags and that off any new skeins that I open. Alright, so let's draw for the next rotation. First, let's see. What am I going to be working on this fortnight? Have Moonrise Song. And I'll just write these down as we're going. And the next one is Protector. I can see what's going to happen here. I will probably end up with quite a few full coverages since the last rotation was all smalls. Mini Shaman. Waterhole Master. That's 4 full coverages. Shaped Wolf. Come on, give me a small one just to break up the full coverage. Just nope. Daydream Sea Turtles. One more. One more. And what do we have? Tiger Lily. Told ya. It is going to be a fortnightly rotation of nothing but full coverage pieces. How's that for you? It's alright. It doesn't matter, they all get stitched on eventually. Alright, so let me just find the cover photos for these. Shaped wolf, tiger lily, daydream sea turtles. Alright, so these are the 7 projects that I'll be working on. We have daydream sea turtles, tiger lily, shaped wolf, protector, mini shaman, moonrise song, and a waterhole master. So that is going to be a fun fortnight. Now, which pretty much leaves me with what I know. I basically know now what I'll be stitching on for the next rotation. That's okay. The next rotation will be a nice mix of smalls and full coverages. I will shove that back under here. Alright, so now what we will do is we will fill in on my couple of boards. So this one here, I won't need the full coverage one because we didn't really work on those, did we? Now, let me find that one. Should I do them in a different colour? I'm going to do them in a dark blue. Let me see what this looks like. Nope. Okay, I'll light it blue. Alright. So, I just closed my book up too. There we go. Alright, so, Autumn Blessing is here. And we got, this is not going to work, is it? Ooh, okay, this will work a bit better. Autumn Blessing, we got 1,500 into it. So that makes it 2,900. Don't know if I should do it in the blue or if I should just do it in the red like I done last year. At least in the red you can sort of see. $2,900. There we go. And then we have Legal High, which is just here. We got 1,700, and that makes that 3,200. Autumn Lane is not on here, but 2 wolves are, and we got 1,500. That makes that 2,460. Stamped, we got 300, and that's the first time I've worked on it for this year, so. And then Modern Folk Embroidery, which is here, we got 1,700, which is 2,900. Beetlejuice is not on here either. The horse portraits is just here, and we got another 900 into it, so that makes that 1,800. And then lastly was not on here. We actually do need the full coverage one. Okay. Oops, I hope I didn't just rubble that off. Alright, so onto the full coverage one. We got the cross stitch for everyone's sale for 2025, and we got 700 stitches into that. That's not lead. Which gives us 2010. Alright, so that's those. Alright, so now, because I finished the Autumn Lane stitchery sale, bring out my little board that I'm going to keep track of my goals and stuff on. Now, I was thinking about getting I know I said it before and I couldn't find one, getting one of those trifold boards like Jen has, but I can't find any here in town at all. The closest place that would have them for me is down in Coffs Harbour, which is like an hour's drive away. If I do get down there and do manage to pick one up, I will just transfer all this over. But for the moment, we are just going to use this one. As you can see, I've got all of my projects listed right down to the bottom, which is the Autumn Lane sale and the Beetlejuice sale. I have goal 1, goal 2, and finish. Now, goal 1 is if I reach the 10,000 on my full coverages and the 7,500 stitches on my smalls. Now, the Autumn Lane I finished and it did not reach the 7,500. So I'm just going to put 2 crosses through there for Autumn Lane for goal 1 and goal 2. Now, I was trying to figure out how I would mark this to keep a visual of, other than a tick or something like that. So, and I came up, because this is magnetic, I came up with the idea, I have all these little cabochons and buttons and stuff like that from when I was in a bit of a making my own needle minder phase. So I just thought that I'll just put a little magnet on the back of it. So I just thought what I would do is I would just use that one and just stick it there in place for the Autumn Lane sale. Now they're all small enough that they will maybe butt under each other. Not that I'm going to get a full row of finishes, so there's going to be bits and pieces here and there, like all over. I did order some more small magnets off Temu, so they will come, and I've got plenty of buttons and what haven't you, so that will work. So yeah, Autumn Lane sale, goal 1, goal 2 are obsolete, and it is a finish. Now, because it is a finish, if you can remember, or if you have not seen my whip parade where I went over my plans as well, what I am going to do is, what I'm going to do is every time I reach one of my goals, I'm going to put $10 into a what do you call those things? Money box. And at the end of the year, we are going to see how much I have got saved up, and that will make whatever I've got saved up will possibly go to kitting up a chatelaine. I'm yet still undecided on that, whether I do want to kit up a chatelaine or whether I just want to buy a couple of kits that I've seen. So yeah, that is my plan. So because I have finished Autumn Lane Stitchery. Here's my money box. See, it is a $10. That is the $10 note for Australia. And there's my $10. So we will put that in there. And that is the first of many, hopefully, to go in there. Now, the partner was laughing because he said he knows where to get some money from if he requires it. Anyway, he wouldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, so that is my first $10 into there. Rightio. I think that's pretty much, that's all the stitching. I did get a bit of haul. I did get an order from Temu, which was some cones of metallic floss, which will be for my dilemma, long dog sampler pattern dilemma. I know I already had metallic floss for it, but I wasn't real keen on it because you had to split it, whereas this metallic floss that I've got is just a single strand and you can double it or whatever you want with it. And they were cones, so I just bought 6 colours in that, the purple, green, red, blue, gold and silver. And so they are there for whenever I get around to it. I also got another box of these wooden floss drops. I am absolutely loving using them. I'm not probably about halfway through my other box, but yeah, I bought another box of those. There's 100 of those to a box and it comes with a ring. So that was that. What else came in it? Oh, I did, no. And if you can recall, I was saying in my last Flosstube that I bought a nude pack from Cottage Garden Threads. So that arrived. They came in this lovely little box, which you open up, and it's got a little leaflet in it that has a few things there. You can sign up, you can, like, just a couple of things. There's a list of designers that use Cottage Garden Threads. Just a few reviews on the back, and then the packet of threads. Now this was just a pack of 10 threads. They are nudes, so the 10's comprised of missed dyes, seconds and obsolete colours, unpackaged and unnamed. So they're just the threads, and they're the colours that I haven't even opened them to see what colours I've got, but they are the colours that I got. And it was only $25 for the 10 of them, which I thought was pretty fair, so I just jumped on and grabbed them. But I am still considering signing up for their one of their threads, monthly thread subscriptions, but I don't think that's going to happen until for another couple of months yet. Shove it back in there. Alright, so that is all the haul that I've got. Yeah, that's all haul. There's not much else. I still haven't, I did film a Stitch With Me, but I'd done it on my old phone, which I forgot I did not have a SD card in. I took the SD card out of it, so I filmed and it cut out at the end. I think it cut out like 5 or 10 minutes off the end of it, and I can't edit it or anything on that phone because it has not enough storage. So what I've got to do is get another SD to put into it and transfer the video that I filmed, the Stitch With Me that I filmed, onto the SD. Then I should be able to edit and everything off it. And I'm thinking I'll just use that phone for Stitch With Me because it was easy just to get into my holder, and I could still use my tablet with markup and all that, or PK or Pad Keeper or all that on it, and I didn't have to use my other phone. So that's what I think I'll do. I will just have to get a SD card to put in it so I can transfer the video from the camera from the phone storage onto the SD card, and then I should have enough room to be able to edit and convert it and then upload it. I am also, I know I said I was going to start doing a series on fabric dyeing, which I will probably start. I was going to film the first one today, but again, I was going to use the old phone, and again, no storage. So I'll have to wait until I get that SD card. But I was waiting on some linen to arrive, which it did. It's not, it's not what I would actually class as linen. It is linen, but then it's not like a stitching linen, if you know what I mean. That is what they sent me as linen. It feels like linen, but it feels more, I don't know, it feels more like a dress linen than it does a stitching linen, but it was sold as a stitching, like an embroidery linen. So but that's alright. It will still show us how linen dyes. So I've got the linen. I do have a bit of 28 count Lagana fabric and the Ada that I want to dye, and I will be using the 3 of those in the one dye bath just to show how the colours differ to each fabric, because each fabric is woven differently, and some are, well, even weaves like Lagana and stuff like that have a bit of polyester, or a polyester blend, not a cotton blend. Ada's a cotton blend, and linen is obviously like a linen thread fibre. So they will all dye differently, and I just wanted to show that in the first one. And then we will go from there and do the other different variations of how to dye to get different looks. Alright guys, so that is everything. We are nearly at an hour, so I will leave it as that. Not much has happened at work. It's very quiet. Very quiet. Don't know if it's just the time of year or what it is, but it's very quiet. So I have been getting home a little bit earlier, so I do have a little bit of extra time to stitch some days. Rightio guys, I will leave it as that for sure now. My next floss tube will be on, let me just check my diary here, will be on the 10th of March, hopefully, barring other things happening. So yes, my next Flosstube will be the 10th of March. I will endeavour to get that Stitch With Me edited, converted and uploaded sometime within the next week or so. Look out for the first fabric dyeing video as well. Yeah. Alrighty guys, wherever you are in the world, please take care and stay safe and happy stitching. Bye bye.